everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope, Louisville's original live TV sports talk show. We're here every week at 11 o'clock Sunday nights. I'm your host, Greg Brom. Our number, 964-2121, the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line. We want to hear from you, and my guest tonight, back in town for his summer vacation, now the offensive coordinator at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. My brother, Jeff Brom, is with us, former University of Louisville quarterback and NFL quarterback. And Jeff, you're at UAB now. After your time at Louisville, you went to Florida Atlantic with Howard Schnellenberger, then on to the University of Illinois for a couple of years, now at UAB. Tell us what it's like down there in Birmingham.
Well, I tell you right now, I'm excited about it. I think I'm looking forward to a new opportunity. Our head coach is Garrick McGee, who was at the University of Arkansas with Coach Petrino the last 4 years. I think he's a very up-and-coming head coach who is very articulate, very intelligent, relates well with the players, and we get along very well and see eye to eye. And I'm excited about it. I know our head coach, it's his first year as a head coach. We're taking on a program that has lost the last few years, but we have a lot of players that are hungry. They're eager to prove themselves to other people and have a great year in the conference. And it's a great town, and so far so good.
I'll tell you what, a lot of our viewers might be interested in a big Louisville connection with the staff down there. There's some other former Cardinals on staff with you.
Well, we have Reggie Johnson, who not only played with me and you at the University of Louisville, but also coached with us at the University of Louisville, was at Arkansas recently. He's our defensive coordinator. There's two players that we both coached at the University of Louisville, and Brandon Sharp, who played safety for us, who will be coaching the safeties. And we have Richard Owens, who played tight end for us and played in the NFL for about 5 or 6 years. He's our tight end coach. So a lot of familiar faces. I think we're going to work well together and have a good time.
UAB, right there in the middle of football country, Alabama and Auburn, that rivalry just engulfs that state. What's it like for UAB? I mean, does UAB get a lot of notice in that state as far as football goes, or how is it trying to carve out a niche?
Well, I tell you, the interesting thing about Birmingham, and I've told people since I've been there, is being in the state of Alabama with the University of Alabama and Auburn, there are numerous talk shows every day that all they do is talk about football. Football year-round, SEC football, but just football. And it's exciting to be around a culture where football is extremely important, and as much as basketball is important here, football is probably twice as important there. So that's exciting. I think with our situation, there's a lot of talent in the state of Alabama. There aren't a lot of huge cities where teams that go to recruit just fly into the big cities and recruit the surrounding areas. So we feel like if we can really recruit that area hard, the state of Alabama, the players that Alabama and Auburn aren't going to take, that we can get, and we're excited to play with those guys, and looking forward to it.
You know, one of the stories I think it's really interesting is the story, and Nick Saban is king, of college football, and especially the state of Alabama, but is the story when Nick Saban, on a Friday afternoon, I remember in the office, I got a phone message that was Allie at the front desk actually said, "Greg, there's a call here," and I looked at the message, and it said, "So-and-so, University of Alabama, Director of Football Operations for Jeff." And immediately I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this? I gave you the message, and tell us what happened from there.
Well, I'll try to make it as short as possible, but I know, there have been some opportunities I passed up before. UCLA was one. I knew the head coach there, and Carl Durrell, and some other things. And then this was right after the Orange Bowl victory, and we got that message, and I knew probably it was something to do with coaching. And I called that number back that day, and as soon as I called back, he said, "Nick wants to talk to you." And he put, Nick Saban on the phone, and we talked and had a good conversation. Really, I kind of told him my situation. I had a brother who had one more year left to play. We're a close family. I wanted to be with him as much as I could, so I probably wasn't going to move anywhere. And, he wanted me to come down and kept trying to talk me into it. And I said, hey, I'll come down, but only on the condition that I'm probably going to be staying here and being with my brother for another year. And as soon as I said that, he said, okay, and he had me on a plane in an hour. I went down there with nothing prepared, no clothes, and spent a day and a half there, and it went great. And
he put the hard sell on.
He put the hard sell. Being in his office before I left for 2+ hours, he was trying to convince me that I needed to break away and and go with him, and it was the best move. And he may have been right, but at the time, Louisville was important to me, and my brother was important to me.
Well, Brian was actually making a decision. I don't even think he had officially made a decision to come back yet, but he's in the process of making that decision. At the same time, you're in the process of having to decide to go to Alabama, and this was before Saban had won a championship yet, but it was only a matter of time, and everybody knew that. So all that's happening at the same time.
Well, and it was a situation where I just didn't know for sure it was the right thing to do, and like I said, family's important. And then also, the funny part of it, a year later, got a call again to come down there to do the same thing. And I had just accepted the offensive coordinator job at Louisville about 3 days before and felt uncomfortable then. But, those things happen. You learn from it, you move on, but it was a great experience.
All right, coaching at Louisville, you started with Petrino, ended with Kragthorpe. Let's talk about just what are some of the most memorable moments of that tenure? And we know about the great 06 season. But what stands out to you is like this was maybe some of the best moments that you had as a coach during that time?
Well, I tell you, I think Coach Bob Petrino came in and did a tremendous job, not only coaching the game of football, but getting his players to believe in his system, how he approached the game, his toughness, his competitiveness, his work ethic. And then at the same time, we were able to gel together our staff with him, buy into his philosophy and what we were doing. And to be honest with you, recruit the best players in the state of Kentucky, especially Louisville. Obviously, we got Brian Brown, we got Michael Bush, but we got some other guys as well, and built the team around some talented guys. I won't lie, we had some talented players, but I think Coach Petrino was able to take it to another level. We reached the pinnacle of the Orange Bowl. Unfortunately, he left, but it was a great experience to be with him, and learned a lot, and it was just a lot of fun.
How long before he's back as a head coach in college, you think?
Well, I tell you, he's done a tremendous job, not only at Louisville, but also at Arkansas, being able to take that program and do as well as he's done the last 2 years. And I think he knows college football is his setting. Obviously, he made mistakes that he's going to learn from, but those things happen. But I think, because of his ability to win football games, to coach offense, to coach quarterbacks, he's going to be back in it before you know it.
All right, our number 964-2121. We want to hear from you. Jeff Brom is with us tonight on the Sunday Sports Buzz. So we'll be right back after these messages. The Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope.
Hi, I'm Jim Weeks. At MaxCare, no project is too big. We have the capabilities to handle the smallest residential project to the largest commercial undertaking. We even clean big houses like this one. And everyone has been abuzz about our amazing 4 areas for $99 special. We want to let everyone know that MaxCare also cleans upholstery, ceramic tile, and air ducts. We also install and refinish hardwood floors dust-free. MaxCare, locally owned and family operated. Give us a call, 636-4629.
When I got hurt at work, I thought I was going to lose my job. No money coming in. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Have you been injured on the job? Call for a free consultation, and we'll fight to get you every penny you deserve. Call Kaufman, Stinger, and Hughes and get the tiger on your side.
I thought all cleaning services were the same until Molly made my carpets fresh, until Molly made my bathroom glow, until Molly made my kitchen shine. I thought all cleaning services were too expensive until Molly made my day. Now, meet the cleaning professionals that work as hard as you do. Call this toll-free number for your free in-home consultation and customized estimate. Wow, Molly Maid was here.
Hi, I'm Jenny Merriman.
And I'm Greg Brom. We've got the best deals in the city each week here at 21 Live.
Restaurants to golf to getaways, it's all on shop21live.com.
21 Live, Kentuckiana's live local shopping show.
quarterback Jeff Brom, 7 TD passes, one of the XFL's first stars. Amazingly, he'll start tonight after a punishing shot that knocked him out.
Jeff Brom paid the price for that one.
My first reaction was I was shocked, stunned, dazed, confused, was kind of in another state of mind.
I saw his head one way and his body, and I'm like, oh, goodness.
His nose was out the side of his ear hole, and I was like, man.
And his helmet was halfway off his head, and he was just laying there. I don't know if he was breathing or not.
The concern is for quarterback Jeff Brom.
So then they had to take him to the hospital to get the x-rays, and once those came out okay, then I was able to come back to the field with a neck brace on.
For a guy to take a hit like that and then come back on the sideline and cheer his team on, that really was touching. I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it.
Jeff Brom, how in the world are you starting this game tonight after taking that hit just 6 days ago?
Well, let me answer that question by asking you 2 questions. One, is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. 2, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
I'm checking. Do I have a pulse? I have a pulse? I have a pulse. Let's play. Let's play some football. The XFL, and who was that you got with all the hair? That blonde guy.
I was much better looking back in those days.
Hey, what do you remember about the XFL? I know you had a great time with it. It was the Vince McMahon run league, and you played right on into the Rock and all the wrestling phenomenon.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a great time. It was actually the most fun I've ever had playing the game of football. Vince McMahon started the league. I was just kind of getting out of the NFL where I hadn't really got some action the last couple of years. And once you get so many years in the league, your salary goes up and it's tough to stay in. So wanted to play to get back in the league. Was the first pick of the team, went down there. And the great thing about it was all the players got paid the same. There really was no politics. Whoever was the best played. And you got a bonus if you won, so there was incentive for winning. But, it was just a great atmosphere. The fans loved it. They had cameras on the field, cameras in the huddle, cameras on the sideline, cameras in the locker room, cameras in the stands. So they tried to make it as fan-friendly as possible, and without a doubt, it was the most fun I had. And I would love to go back and do it again.
Well, I tell you what, a guy who had his own wrestling bit of a brush with greatness this past week is on the line with us. And is this or is this not the XFL? Is this or is this not the real Handsome Jimmy? And it is, because he was dubbed and given the throne was passed, the torch was passed from Handsome Jimmy Valiant to our own Handsome Jimmy over the past week. And Handsome, your idol's sitting here right next to me, and I know you have some things you might want to say to him.
Ain't no question on that, and I hate to see you taking that lick over there. Oh, God almighty, that was tough. But you're a trooper, right? You're the champion of all time anyway, and you get up, and I like that pulse. You got a pulse, a Brom's going to play. I like that, Jeff. And, Jeff, on your whole career, I mean, at Trinity, number 11 gets retired, and then you go to the University of Louisville, and number 11's up there in the thing where they retard their the numbers, and that's such a great honor. But I asked you the other day, what was not your greatest game, but what's the greatest game in study, like at U of L and at Trinity, probably the state championship probably is. You put on display there, and in the games you had at the University of Louisville. But I tell you something, Jeff, people ask me, things about you because I talk about you so much. I'll tell you, there's one thing about you, partner. You're a great football player, baseball player, but you're 100 times better person than you was a player, and I want you to know it, buddy.
Well, I appreciate that, Handsome. You've always supported me. I appreciate that. And really, my time here at Louisville has been tremendous. This is a great city, great fan support, great people, and I enjoyed playing and coaching here and wouldn't have traded for anything in the world. And I know this is where our roots are from, and we like it here. Like I said, you've supported me. I appreciate it. But I tell you what, when they talk of Handsome Jimmy, I know they capitalized the first word of that name right there in Handsome, because I saw you last week and you definitely were handsome.
You got to earn that name.
He earned it, and he earns the keep.
All right. What's the greatest game you ever played? What do you think is your greatest game, your greatest performance as a player?
Well, I tell you what, sometimes I think you kind of put it in a category of some greatest victories, and I think, obviously Hanson mentioned the state championship at Trinity. That was a game that I didn't incomplete a pass, and I thought I played pretty well in that. And then, our Liberty Bowl victory my senior year, playing hurt and injured and getting a victory in some bad weather was a great experience. And playing in the NFL, one game I checked in for Steve Young against the Houston Oilers in the first quarter. We came back and won through the first touchdown pass ever to Terrell Owens in that game. So those are things that I remember a whole lot. But I tell you what, I've been fortunate enough to play for a lot of great coaches, a lot of great teams, run a lot of great people, going all the way back to high school and even before. And I'm very thankful for that and wouldn't have traded for anything.
And I know one of your greatest honors was winning the Jimmy Award and the Handsome Jimmy Hall of Fame. That has to be sitting in your office at UAB. I'm sure when the other coaches walk by and they wonder what that award, how that was earned.
Well, I need to get it in my office there. I actually have it in my office home. I've been playing with my daughter, and I just kind of looked at it the other day and I said, whoa, this is a lot of things I've accomplished here. So I definitely appreciate that award. It means a lot to me.
All right, you talked about T.O. What was T.O. like? He was a rookie when you were, was he T.O. or was he just Terrell Owens? Who was he?
At the time he was Terrell Owens, and when he came in the league, he played at UT Chattanooga. He was more of a basketball player, but we had a tremendous team. We had great players. We had great leaders. Jerry Rice obviously was our top guy, and Terrell kind of took, Jerry took Terrell under his wing, and basically Terrell worked his butt off. He trained year-round. He ran the hills. If you went over to the office late at night to pick up something you forgot, you'd see him over there working out a second time. So he was a guy that put in the hard work. Didn't do a whole lot of partying, all that stuff. He really mastered his trade. And
we saw him do sit-ups in the driveway. We know he did a lot of extra work.
Well, I tell you what, when I was around him, he was the best, and he earned everything he got.
All right, I always like to hear, and I know it sounds like a bit of name dropping, but I think it's kind of impressive when you kind of go through the coaching tree that were on staffs that you were a part of as far as a player in the NFL, and you played for for parts of 6 teams, I think, in the NFL, or 7 teams, or 6 teams, I think. Go through some of the coaches that were on some of those staffs that you got to get to know.
Well, I was lucky. I'll try to go through it fast, but we had a lot of great ones, starting back with Coach Lampley at Trinity, Coach Snellenberger at Louisville, Coach Petrino at Louisville, went to the Chargers with Bobby Ross. We had Ralph Friedgen, we had Bill Arnsberger. We had Sylvester Kroom over to the 49ers with George Seifert, Matt Cavanaugh, Mark Trestman. We had Pete Carroll. We had Jim Morrow on the staff. Then Mariucci came in with Marty Morningweg. We had Greg Knapp. And then we went to the Broncos and had Kubiak and Shanahan and all the great coaches there. I was with Tampa Bay with Tony Dungy, Monty Kiffin, Herm Edwards, Mike Shula. Was even at a brief stay with the Redskins where we had Norv Turner, we had Cam Cameron. We had a brief stay with the Cleveland Browns where we had Chris Parham, Romeo Crennel. I was fortunate enough to be around a lot of great ones, and all of them are not only great coaches but great people.
All right, our number 964-2121, 964-2121, the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. Give us a call. You want to talk to Jeff Brom tonight. We're going to take a break. Come back with one more segment with Jeff Brom tonight, Sunday Sports Buzz, presented by Sam Swope.
Yes, it is. 2, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
The landscape of sports talk radio in Kentuckiana has changed in a big way. 1450 The Sports Buzz has the perfect blend of local shows and Patrick in the Mornings, and Yahoo Sports Radio, The Freak Show with John Grinshaw, has made its triumphant return from 3 to 5 p.m. The afternoon Sports Buzz makes that drive home easier from 5 until 6 with Greg Brom, Rob Jones, Trevor Kelsey, and a slew of others. 1450 The Sports Buzz also has you covered with the biggest high school, college, and pro games every week. Sick of the same old watered-down sports talk? Look no further than 1450 The Sports Buzz.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
My granddaughter was getting married and I thought, I can't eat at the wedding. My dentures come loose. But not anymore. My dentist has mini dental implants that stabilize my dentures. Less invasive, less discomfort, and less healing time than conventional implants. And half the cost, too. It was all done in one treatment visit. So I was ready by the wedding.
See Dr. Larry Stroud at Mini Dental Implant Centers of America. Find out if mini implants are right for you.
Watch Dr. Stroud's program Monday through Thursdays at 1 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 9.
Don't let computer problems frustrate you, whether it's pop-ups, a virus, hardware or software problem, or troubleshooting any computer problems. Simply call Igloo On-Site Computer Repair. Igloo's highly professional, experienced technicians will come to your home or business and put an end to your computer problems at 1/3 the cost of most competitors. Call now, 2 On-Site. That's area code 502-266-7483. Igloo On-Site Computer Repair.
Get all the secrets from your favorite local restaurants. Sundays at 4, weeknights at 6. And see them all in high def on Insight Channel 916. Secrets of Louisville chefs on location at all your favorite local hotspots. And Secrets live from Sullivan University's Kitchen Theater. Secrets of Bluegrass chefs takes you across the state. It's new local TV on the air and online at newlocaltv.com. All local, all positive, and now in HD. Only on Ion 21. Get all the secrets Sundays at 4, weeknights at 6.
Jeff Brom, how in the world are you starting this game tonight after taking that hit just 6 days ago?
Well, let me answer that question by asking you two questions. One, is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Two, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
I see Handsome Jimmy was at the game.
He might have been.
All right, Jeff Brom here with me tonight on the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope. Our number 964-2121 on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. We want to hear from you. And, you know, Jeff, big year in college basketball around here. And we've got the big rivalry, not only between Louisville and Kentucky, but Rick and Cal. What's your take on the Rick Cal thing? How closely do you follow it, and how entertaining is it to you?
Well, from a fan's aspect, it's been very fun to follow. I think obviously you've got to be marveled at the job that Calipari has done in Kentucky, his ability to recruit the top players every single year, to gel them together as a team in a one-year period and win championships and get close to it the years he's been there, and then to put them in the pros at a high level has just been remarkable, and I don't think it's going to be hard to be matched. But to watch those guys go at it's been a lot of fun, but it's definitely been a lot of fun to just watch Calipari do all those things from a recruiting standpoint, a winning standpoint, and then putting his players in the NBA.
Talk about recruiting. Is that something that college coaches just don't like doing? Or, I mean, how do you go about it? What do you look for in a quarterback? When you're looking for a quarterback, what do you look for? And just how do y'all like the whole process?
Well, the recruiting thing takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. You have to develop relationships with all these kids on a one-on-one basis. You got to let them know that you care about them, not only as a player but as a person. Get to know them, their family, their interest. So it's a big ordeal that you have to really spend a lot of time doing. From a recruiting aspect, quarterbacks, I'm looking for a guy who's accurate, looking for a guy who is a great decision maker, who has leadership skills, who's tough, who's extremely tough, who's very competitive. And those are traits you look for. But the recruiting nowadays, it's like being a car salesman. You've got to really sell yourself. You've got to be honest with them as well. You can't just tell them things that aren't true. But you got to really show them how you're going to develop them as a player, as a person, and as a student, and show it to them and tell them and the players you've had before and show them how you can do it.
What do you guys think about the playoff, the playoff that's in the works?
Well, I think everybody was looking for a little bit of a better system. to get a national champion. And I like the 14 playoff. If it was 8-team, I would like that as well, because I think you can really identify the top teams and the games that are going to be played are going to be of high caliber, and everyone's going to be watching. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be interesting to how it unfolds, as which teams are going to go in it, but I think it's a great idea.
All right, you coached in the Big East, you coached in the Big Ten. And the Big Ten has a bit maybe of a stereotype of the style of play that they have as opposed to the SEC. What is the style of play in the Big Ten? Did you notice a difference in how the football is played there in that conference as opposed to the Big East or even down south where you are now?
Well, I think the Big Ten is a very competitive conference. It's mostly built on strength, maybe not quite as much speed as down south like the SEC. But they have a lot of very good players. It's built a little more around the running game because the latter half of the season, the weather gets a little rough. But, comparing the Big Ten to the Big East, I think the Big Ten is a better conference by far from top to bottom. And there's a great caliber of players. It's just not known for being the speed conference.
You've been, Louisville's been trying, and the word is trying to get another conference. And I think we always around here wonder how Louisville is perceived outside of this area. Where you've been, how do you think Louisville is perceived? Is it on the tip of other fan bases' tongues when they're talking about programs, the next program or the next program to be really good?
Well, I think that outside of Louisville, maybe not as nearly quite as much as we think here. I think basketball is definitely right there at the top because they're in the top conference of basketball. Football took a step back for a while. I think Coach Strong's done a great job in getting that back. But being in the Big East, they're not seen as much as they used to be, even in our Petrino days being on ESPN and playing some top teams. So, I think it is important they get in a different conference. And I think if they do that, then now they can really play with the big boys and be on the same level and get a chance to compete and recruit at the highest level. But until they do that, it's going to be tough. And nowadays, with everyone jumping around, I think it's important they get in one of those conferences.
All right, our final minute here, and this show almost became the Brady, Trey, and Patrick show. And the Fern Creek All-Stars are here. Come on in here. We got to see these Fern Creek All-Stars right here. Yeah. All right. But y'all like baseball? Yeah. Y'all like baseball a lot? Good. Look at these big boys. Patrick and Trey and Brady Brom. Patrick and Trey Ryan are here with us tonight. And are you all going to have your own TV show someday?
Yeah, we hope so.
Good answer.
Good answer. I would watch that show.
We're proud of these guys. They're Fern Creek.
I don't even want to live with him.
We're proud of these guys. They're Fern Creek Babe Ruth Baseball All-Stars, and they did a great job.
They did a great job, and we'll see you guys next week at Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope.